Hello everyone and welcome to Sondra's Crafting Corner. This video is part of the DIY challenge Thanksgiving or Fall hosted by Heidisonboull from Heidisonbouldiychallenge. I will have the link to her channel as well as the link to the playlist in my description box below. The items you'll need are now going to be listed in the description box below. Now on to the DIY. I started off with this sheet of Luan. I drew 3 pumpkins on it in a topiary style. I used 2 of the pumpkins from Dollar Tree to draw the first top 2, and then the third one I just drew myself. I didn't record me doing this because I had to do it in the middle of the living room and my granddaughter was sitting on it most of the time. This was my first time using a scroll saw, so my husband was here to help me if I needed it. Once that was all cut out, I sanded the sides and both front and back of this piece. Using the color Pumpkin by Waverly, I painted the bottom pumpkin. Now using the color Moss by Waverly, I'm going to paint the top pumpkin. Next, using the color Sheepskin from Folk Art, I will be painting the middle pumpkin. Now I'm going to use the color Truffle by Waverly and paint the stem of the pumpkin. Using the wax color Antique by Waverly, I'm going to give some definition to the orange and the white pumpkin. I thought the lines were a little too harsh, so I went back over them with their original colors. Mixing some of this moss color by Waverly and a little bit of black, I'm going to make a color that's slightly darker than the top pumpkin so I can do the definitions for that pumpkin. Going back in with the antique wax from Waverly, I'm going to add some shadows to the bottoms of the pumpkins so they look like they're actually sitting on top of each other. Next, using my Cricut, I printed out Happy Fall Y'all, and I'm going to put each word on each pumpkin. Once that is done, we're going to flip it over and start working on side number 2. Using White Adirondack by Folk Art, I'm going to paint the whole thing, this time to prime it. Once that is dry, I'm going to redraw my lines and get ready to paint the 3 pumpkins. Using the color Pumpkin again by Waverly, I'm going to paint the top pumpkin this time. Next, I'm going to paint the middle pumpkin with Truffle by Waverly. While I still have Truffle on my brush, I'm going to paint the stem of the top pumpkin. And last but not least, for the final pumpkin, I'm going to use Lacquer by Waverly. Using the Antique Wax by Waverly, I'm going to put in the definitions again. Don't worry, it's going to look really bad right now, but I will fix it later by adding more of the red color. Right now, I'm adding the shading at the bottom of the pumpkin to make it look like it's actually sitting on top of the red pumpkin. For some reason, I could not get the wax to hit some certain spots on this red, so I'm going to have to let it just sit and then try to fix it later. Don't worry, right now the lines look too stark, but I will fix them later by adding a little bit more wax and then going slowly and blending it out. It just kept drying too fast for me to blend out. I'm going to try to make my own wax, so I take the clear wax from Folk Art as well as the black and Truffle and mix those all together to see if I can make a darker wax for the middle pumpkin. When that's all dry, I get out my decals that I made with my Cricut that says "Gobble till you wobble." Now it's time to make the bows for each side. For the fall side, I'm going to use these 3 from Dollar Tree. I'm going to make a simple loop bow where I make each one slightly smaller than the next. For the other side, I'm going to use these 2 burlaps and also this orange woven ribbon from Dollar Tree. Taking my hot glue gun, I'm going to start gluing the loops. I'm going to continue doing that for each piece of ribbon. Now it's time to assemble the bows together. I just take all the loops that I want in the right order and take this twine and fold it a little bit and then tie it in the back. And then I'm going to wrap it all the way around the bow, and then once I get it to where I like it, I'm going to tie it off. I will do the exact same thing for the false side ribbon. I'll simply glue the bows on the corresponding sides, and then this project is done. Here is the happy fall side. And here is the Thanksgiving side. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Don't forget to check out Heidi's channel, as well as the playlist for this challenge. It's all listed in the description box below. And if you haven't already, please subscribe and ring that bell so you can be notified of future videos. If you like what you saw, please hit that big thumbs up down below, and maybe share it with your friends and family. Thank you so very much, and take care.